Do you agree with Stephanie White?
Listen, I don't watch the WNBA extensively enough to say whether I agree or disagree. But I've often used the line, Shay, that I'll share with you because I don't know if I've ever used it while you've been on the air with me. If it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it ain't a damn mongoose. I've said that many, many times over the years. There is a flagrant level of resentment that exists when it comes to Caitlin Clark. And it has existed since she has arrived in the league. She is the...
It just needed one whistle, one collision, and one replay to divert attention from the final score. In a matter of seconds, the whole basketball community was preoccupied with one question. What had become of Caitlin Clark? Nobody could have predicted that a single sequence from an otherwise ordinary regular season game would become the most talked about topic in basketball. The arena's spectators weren't prepared for it. It caught the game's commentators off guard. Even the thousands of viewers who subsequently examined the video from every perspective were unaware that a single play would elicit such a huge response. However, that is precisely how the evening turned out. The players returned to their locker rooms after the last buzzer rang. But the most important plot of the evening was just getting started. Social media took up almost instantly. The replays appeared on all of the main platforms. Sports networks, podcasts, YouTube channels, basketball pages, and national television all focused on the same moment, making it the focal point of the basketball discourse. Regarding this news,
Phoenix Mercury's Alyssa Thomas receives flagrant foul 2 penalty and a 1-game suspension. I want to know your thoughts. Is 1 game enough? 2 games, 3 games? I'm seeing some say 5 games. I'm seeing some people say 10 games Alyssa Thomas should have been suspended for. I want to know what you think in the comment section below. Phoenix Mercury's Alyssa Thomas receives flagrant foul 2 penalty and a 1-game suspension. June 25th,
2026. The fact that no one could agree on what they had seen added to the intrigue of the scenario. After watching the replay, some spectators thought it was just a violent basketball play. Others saw the same video and came to an entirely different opinion. The argument wasn't only contentious. It spread all over the place. The video was viewed more than once. They combed through thousands of comments from admirers who were all certain their interpretation was correct, slowed it down frame by frame, replayed it numerous times, and compared various camera angles. Every new viewing seemed to further polarize the basketball community rather than provide clarity. The narrative then took yet another surprising turn. The conversation swiftly spread beyond WNBA fans and turned into a national sports issue. Basketball commentators expressed divergent opinions, past players offered their own insights, and television shows started reporting on the occurrence. The discussion expanded with each new viewpoint. What started off as a single contentious play quickly became one of the week's most significant basketball stories. When Steve Smith discussed the matter on First Take, the debate that was already dominating sports headlines gained even more national attention.
Alyssa Thomas has received a flagrant foul 2 penalty and a 1-game suspension for recklessly making contact with her fist to the throat area of Indiana Fever guard Caitlin Clark. It was announced today by the WNBA. The incident, for which Thomas was deemed to have committed a non-basketball act, occurred with 6 minutes and 52 seconds remaining in the second quarter of the Mercury's 111-109 win over the Fever last night at Gainbridge.
The topic gained a whole new level of attention once one of the biggest names in sports television entered the discussion. The debate over the play was no longer limited to Indiana Fever supporters. Now, basketball enthusiasts throughout were searching for solutions. Was it just a case of fierce, elite competition? Did the officials manage the matter appropriately? Or did the incident become a part of a larger conversation about player safety 50, consistent officiating, and physical play in today's WNBA? The reason this issue hasn't faded from the forefront is precisely because those questions continue to divide opinions. A fresh interpretation appears to emerge with each replay. Every interpretation sparks a new debate, and each debate attracts more participants. The league was at the center of one of the most talked about basketball discussions of the season thanks to a single moment, one replay, and one official call. What precisely happened throughout that sequence, then?
The result, if they have an opportunity to go at her, they're going to take it. Now, Caitlin Clark is no innocent bystander in all of this. She's a high-end competitor. She can be very feisty. We saw from her college days where she can chirp and talk junk at you, which is why Angel Reese went at her when they ultimately beat her for the national championship, because she was chirping right back at her and trolling her. That's where the real fame of Angel Reese rose. We saw all of this. In the end, there are people that undoubtedly...
Why have fans, commentators, and past players responded to one location in such a variety of ways? And why does it still take center stage in discussions long after the last buzzer? It's important to slow down the action, go over the entire sequence, and consider why this particular moment has grown to be one of the most important Indiana Fever narratives this season in order to comprehend the controversy. The intensity continued to increase as the game moved into its most contested phase. Possession became more and more crucial. Each rebound was more meaningful. Every player understood how important momentum had become, and neither team was prepared to give up simple scoring chances. It was hard to ignore the change in energy. With every possession, the physical style of play increased, defensive saves were enthusiastically celebrated, and lost balls became intense fights. The sequence that everyone is still debating came next. Both the audience inside the arena and those watching from home were quickly captivated by a brief, fast-paced piece including Caitlin Clark. The moment immediately became the main focus of the game, with one of the greatest names in the league in the center of the action.
What I've seen, you are able to say 1 + 1 = 2. And there's been a level of resentment that has existed where I believe there's been a failure on the part of some people to appreciate the mantra of a rising tide lifts all boats. Ride this cash cow till the wheels come off. They did it in the NBA with Magic Johnson. They did it ultimately with Michael Jordan. You know, that's how you do this. You find somebody that just galvanizes folks and ingratiates themselves with the public at large in such a way where everywhere they go and whatever they do, everybody wants
to observe. The responses within the arena were instantaneous. They propagate even more quickly online. In just a few minutes, the plays clips were going viral on social media. Fans paused the movie frame by frame to examine every detail as basketball content providers started posting slow-motion breakdowns. Every new camera angle that surfaced appeared to spark a new discussion. While some viewers thought the playback revealed valid concerns that warranted more investigation, others thought the officials made the correct decision in real time. At that point, the event transcended beyond a single possession. The conversation naturally spread beyond the actual game after millions of basketball fans began examining the same play from many angles. And that is precisely what took place. People asked more questions as they watched. The conversation grew in scope as more questions came up. It became more and more clear with each hour that this was more than just another basketball video that went viral. It had developed into one of the season's most important basketball conversations. It just needed one whistle, one collision, and one replay to divert attention from the final score. In a matter of seconds, the whole basketball community was preoccupied with one question. What had become of Caitlin Clark? Nobody could have predicted that a single sequence from an otherwise ordinary regular season game would become the most talked about topic in basketball. The arena's spectators weren't prepared for it. It caught the game's commentators off guard. Even the thousands of viewers who subsequently examined the video from every perspective were unaware that a single play would elicit such a huge response. However, that is precisely how the evening turned out. The players returned to their locker rooms after the last buzzer rang. But the most important plot of the evening was just getting started. Social media took up almost instantly. The replays appeared on all of the main platforms. Sports networks, podcasts, YouTube channels, basketball pages, and national television all focused on the same moment, making it the focal point of the basketball discourse. Regarding this news,